Hello students, welcome to class 12th online education. This video is for subject economics. We'll be reading here unit 6 topic 5-year plans in India. So let us first of all know what is economic planning. Economic planning refers to a system under which a set of target is defined by the central authority of the country. It means utilization of country's resources in different development activities in accordance with national priorities. Now let us understand why there was a need for planning in India. Owing to the backwardness and stagnation in economy, it could not be left in the hands of market forces of supply and demand to make way for growth and development. So a heavy investment supported by the government was required, and therefore planning in India was needed. Let us know about the role of Planning Commission. The Planning Commission was formed in 1950 with Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru as its chairperson. It determined the type of plan that would be best for faster economic development. The chairperson of the Planning Commission is the Prime Minister of India. 5-year Planning Commission had suggested that India should prepare a plan covering a period of 5 years. That's why India's development plan are termed as 5-year plans. Now, before knowing the more about 5-year plans in India, we should understand that which kind of economy is followed in India. There are 3 types of economies: socialistic economy, capitalistic economy, and mixed economy. And India is following mixed economy system. So, let us understand the different features of all these 3 type of economies. On the basis of nature, let us understand market economy, centrally planned economy, and mixed economy. Market economy is the free market economy where means of production are owned by the individuals and economic decisions are also taken by individuals. In centrally planned economy is an economy which is under the direct control of government, and economic activities are also taken by the government. And economy in which there is a private as well as private ownership of the means of production and important decisions are taken by the government, and economic activities are conducted by market. Now, what is the role of government in these 3 types of economies? No direct intervention by the government has been observed in the market economy. In central planned economy, government plays active role in the process of production, and in mixed economy, full control of the government in public sector and partial control in private sector is observed. Now, what is the motive of production in all these 3 economies? For market economy, the profit motive is the main objective. For centrally planned economy, social welfare is the main objective, and for mixed economy, profit motive in private sector and social welfare in public sector is observed. Now, if we see the competition exists in market economy. There is no competition exists in centrally planned economy, and in mixed economy, competition exists only in the private sector, not in the public sector, as public sector objective is social welfare. So these are the different features of these 3 different types of economies, and we can compare the features of these economies. Now, after understanding and knowing that India is following mixed economy, it is important that what objectives, what are the goals set by the government in order to achieve the targeted goal and development under this mixed economy system. So, in order to understand these all in detail, first of all, let us understand long period and short period goals of 5-year plans in India. Long period goals are common to all the 5-year plans and are therefore generally studied as common goals of 5-year plans, and these are also known as objectives of planning. On the other hand, short-term objectives vary from plan to plan depending on the current needs of the country. For example, first plan focused on higher agriculture production, while second plan shifted to the focus from agriculture to industry. So this way, it depends on plan to plan. In India, growth and equity are the objective of all the 5-year plans, and the goal of current 5-year plan, 12th plan 2012 to 17, is inclusive development. Now, let us understand the long period goals or objectives of 5-year plans in detail. So the first planning in India focused on 5 long period goals, objectives, and the first goal is GDP growth. So what is the goal here? Increasing in GDP means an increase in the level of output, which further means an increase in the flow of goods and services. A consistent increase in the flow of goods and services in an economy for a long period of time is called economic growth. Therefore, an increase in GDP is equal to the increase in economic growth. So this increase depends upon increasing the resource base of the country and an increase in the productivity through the innovative technology. So in order to get the targeted GDP growth, we have to increase in the resource base and also we have to increase in the productivity so that we can achieve the targeted GDP growth and development. Now the second goal is full employment. Full employment is a situation where people who are willing to work and able to work at the given market and the wage rate, and this leads to inclusive growth, achieving the motive of growth and social justice together. Now under full employment, we have to understand that the objective of full employment focused on the inclusive growth and implies that more and more people should participate in the process of growth and benefits of the growth must be shared across wider section of the society. So this is how that the both social justice and the growth can be achieved. Now the next goal is self-reliance. Self-reliance means dependence on the domestically produced goods, primarily food grains, so the country is not exposed to any political pressure from the rest of the world. And the basic aim of the 5th plan was the attainment of self-reliance. To achieve this goal, the 5th plan aimed at an increasing production of food grains, necessary consumption goods, raw materials and export. While emphasizing the increasing in export, the plan emphasized the need for establishing import substitute industries as an important factor of economic self-reliance. So the benefit of the growth must spread across all the section of the society. This was also being focused, and moreover the self-reliance objective always be taken up in the priority. Now the next goal is equitable distribution. Economic growth becomes meaningless if only a few people receive its benefits. Therefore, it should reach to all the section of the society in order to become equitable. So here equitable distribution is always be one of the important goal in all the 5-year plans. And equitable distribution of income implies social equality, and this is one of the principal objective or the goal of planning in India. Now let us move to the another long period goal, that is modernization. Modernization means updating and adopting of modern technology, for example, the Green Revolution, IT revolution, and modernization in terms of social outlook as well. For example, women empowerment. This requires the setting up of a wide variety of industries. It also refers to an advancement of technology. So we cannot ignore this as one of the important goal. So here we have to pay attention for more and more production through the innovative ideas and technologies, and at the same time we have to see for the issues like women empowerment. Modern outlook is also equally important in order to promote the modernization. Now let us learn features of economic policy pursued under planning till 1991. So the first feature is heavy reliance on public sector. In Industrial Policy Resolution 1956, 17 industries were reserved for public sector and 12 industries were reserved for private sector. Achieving the socialistic pattern of the society through comprehensive development of the public sector was the main aim of the government. We can understand it well by knowing the new classification of industries. Industries were classified into 3 schedules depending upon role of state. Schedule A, 17 industries listed in the Schedule A whose future development would be the responsibility of the state. In Schedule B, 12 industries were included. In Schedule B, private sectors could supplement the effort of the public sector and with the state taking sole responsibility for starting new units. In Schedule C, other residual industries were left upon to private sectors. Now, apart from that, industrial license was also promoted under the economic policy till 1991. That is, industries in the private sector would be established only through a license from the government. And the same time, industrial concession was also promoted and industrial concessions were offered to the private enterprises for establishing industries in the backward regions of the country, such as tax rebate and concession rates for the power supply. So the main aim was to eliminate the disparity and increase the growth of regional disparity should be removed and the equal opportunities should be given to all the section of the society. Now the next feature is regulated development of private sector. As just now we have read that industrial policy was initiated by the government. So a new industries in the private sector cannot be established without a license and registration. Restrictions on the expansion of existing industries in the private sector was also placed by the MRTP Act. So the full form of MRTP Act is Monopolistic and Restrictive Trade Practices Act. And no concentration of power in private hands were allowed under this license policy. The next feature of this economic policy is protection of small scale industries and regulations of large scale industries. Monopolistic and Restrictive Trade Practices Act regulated the large scale industries. Few areas of production reserved to the exclusively for small scale industries only. And the development of financial institute to aid small scale industries was promoted so that the small scale industries get the complete opportunities to grow. Now the next is development of heavy industries of strategic significance. Industries of strategic significance like electricity generation were developed on the prior basis, because as we know that these industries are really important for creating the important base for the industrial sector, agriculture sector, so the country can get the desired economic growth. There is one more feature that is focus on saving and investment. Now, being key determinants of economic growth, saving was promoted by offering high interest rate and investment through subsidies and capital grants were promoted so that more and more investment can be taken place in the country. Then the protection from foreign competition. This is also one of the important feature of the policy taken under 1991, that is high import duties and quantitative restriction placed on imports, and the reason was to, or the objective was to protect the domestical industries against the foreign competition so that a proper domestic market can be increased in the country and the demand for domestic goods can be increased. So this is how that as industries were in infant stage of growth, so they were protected under this feature. So here our chapter is over. Thank you.